Well, hello and welcome to day one, session 3 of the New Zealand Track Cycling Championships. My name's Dale Woodford. I'll be with you throughout the evening, and a really exciting night's program in front of us with what was once and in some of our eyes still is the glamour event, the blue ribbon, the kilometre time trial under 19 and elite men's. And some fantastic racing this afternoon and this morning session as well with the under 17s and 19s. And coming up onto the track, Cameron French, of course, someone you'll be familiar with if you follow the sport of athletics, the 400-metre national record holder in the hurdles. This is a 250-metre time trial. He's going to lay down a marker just to see what the progress has been over the last 4 months, training, converting to the sport of cycling. Well, something we've seen a number of other countries adopt as riders from other sports, particularly speed skating, so transferring from athletics, the sprint, the fast twitch fibres, transferring that to the bike. And Cameron in the starting gates. So he's away safely, away cleanly, and of course trying to do exactly what Ethan Mitchell did when he dominated for over a decade as a starter in the team sprint, 250 metres. You don't get much time to think about it or warm into it. So he comes around and that's it done. It's an 18.549. So 18.549 for Cameron French, 48.52 kilometres an hour. And they will be able to measure that. Of course, as we said, he's come from the sport of athletics, transferred to cycling, and a test over 250 metres. Just put that into some sort of perspective, very good starting time. Today, they're running a little bit quicker than that at World Championship level. We saw Ethan ride low 17s, high 16s on a number of occasions, but of course he was the world's best, right up there with the top 3 in the world for over a decade, and for a number of years the world's best starter, the recently retired Ethan Mitchell. So that starting spot is certainly up for grabs in the team sprint competition. So we now move on to event number 16. It's the elite men 1,000 metre time trial. We have 6 heats and riders on each side of the track. Hayden Jack, Dylan Cumming. So bikes just getting set up in the starting gates. Hayden Jack riding in the colours of Southland. Dylan Cumming, West Coast, North Island. That's the world record for this event. Service France 56.3. The New Zealand record, Simon van Veldhoven 59.148. And the New Zealand Championship record, Nick Kyrgyzou 1:00.757. This is on the program later on this evening in the last heat, and he'll be wanting to go under that 1 minute. So looking at the times earlier in the day, the track's been running reasonably fast. There's been some good pursuit times in the under 17s. If you've just joined us on Sky Sport Next, this is session 3 on day 1 of the New Zealand Track Cycling Championships, the men's 1,000 metre time trial. Just waiting for the all clear, and then the countdown will start. Flags are up. So well done to the team, Jeanette and her team, Cycling New Zealand Events, for putting this together under the current traffic light system. Not easy. It's fantastic to have these national championships with the elite down to the under 17 riders. It's coming down to 20 seconds. The first heat of 6 in the men's 1,000 metre time trial. Dylan Cumming in the front straight. Hayden Jack in the front straight. Dylan Cumming in the back straight. So nice start from the Southland rider in the front straight. Tries to get that big gear going. There's even those two riders on the track. It's all about laying down, putting down your best possible time. So a 20, opening first lap for Hayden Jack. He's got a good lead over Dylan Cumming, but it's the time that matters. 2 to go. 34.8 through the 500. He'll come in to get the bell. 50 through the 750. So what's he going to do? He's starting to feel a little bit, drifts a little bit high out of turn 3. Digging deep. And he stops the clock at 107.03. And Dylan Cumming a 109. So 107.03. And 108.999. So that's the first heat of 6. If you've just joined us on Sky Sport Next, Dale Woodford with you this evening. It's the men's 1,000 metre time trial, elite men, 6 heats. This is heat number 2. Coming up onto the track, Daniel Bridgewater from Waikato Bay of Plenty. The rider's been performing exceedingly well over the last couple of years, just keeps getting better. And on the other side of the track from Southland, Hamish Keast. And if he's as fast as that bike looks, he should be in for a good time. So the Southlander on the outside, the man from Waikato Bay of Plenty, Dan Bridgewater. Heat 2, 1,000 metre time trial, the kilo. Oh, nice start. Dan Bridgewater timed it perfectly out of the gates. Gets down on the Côte d'Azur, gets that big gear going, moves up onto the track. And he's sat up, so something's happened. There we go. This is the Southland rider. A false start or a little mechanical. Those things are pretty easy these days. They're allowed to rerun. They come out again. Those rules got changed after, someone will have to remind me, what Olympics, when, of course, I think it was Shane Kelly pulled his foot and was unable to get a restart. And of course, many of the sports, swimming in particular, no restarts in that, and athletics, you get the one warning. So they just have a look at Amos's bike, that's Sid Cumming. He looks after, coaches the Southland team. So a little bit unsettling can be for the riders when they're all dialed in, they're tuned up, ready to go, and the opponent has a false start. So they've run out of gas in the starting gate, so new bottle will come in. So nice shot there. The gas bottle will be changed. The braking system that holds the back wheel. So you see that nice close-up of the brake blocks there. That's what closes up against the back wheel, and that's not released until the 0 comes up on the board. So if you go a fraction early, that brake block is stopping you from moving forward. So Hamish Keith's looking very relaxed on the other side. Set up, he's got the fast helmet, the Argon bike. Looks very quick. Not stressed at all, just sitting there nice and relaxed. So the starting gate's all set in the front straight. As we look at riders just warming up down in the pits, see the riders on the rollers getting ready for their ride. Bike's all set. Dan Bridgewater comes back up. On the Avanti with the Southern Spar wheels. Very fast setup. New Zealand Championship record, Nick Kirkazoo, 1 minute 7:57. So can we get under that magic minute tonight in the 1,000-metre time trial? The kilometre, the start clock's starting to count down, 40 seconds. Hamish Keith still looking nice and relaxed on the other side. "20 seconds, and we will be underway. This is heat number 2 of 6. Daniel Bridgewater, Hamish Keith. Keith of Southland starts in the back straight. This time both riders away safely. Good start from both men as well, getting the big gears wound up. He's going to go through the first half lap. Daniel Bridgewater's looking good, goes through with a decent advantage at half a lap. Went through in 13.6. So it didn't stop, it was a 20-second opening lap. Daniel Bridgewater is absolutely flying at the moment. Hamish Keith, a little bit of work to do to get on the terms. And we're just not getting the splits at the moment from the timing system on the board, but Bridgewater's flying down the back. You know he won't slow down, he'll just keep getting quicker. He's going to come in to get the bell. 1 to go for Dan Bridgewater. Bridgewater heading down the back straight, half a lap to go. He comes around to the finish. What's he going to stop the clocks? Just over the 1, about 1:02. So very good ride from Daniel Bridgewater. 1:02. We'll wait for the official time to come up. So for Daniel Bridgewater, it was around the 1:02, so we'll wait and see. We'll have to wait till that comes up, or the time might get radioed up to us. That was heat number 2. We're coming through to heat 3 of 6. But Daniel Bridgewater, a very good ride. He didn't slow down. A little bit of work being done on the timing. the timing tape going down there. So it's all happening in the men's 1,000 metre time trial. The gas bottle for the starting gate in the front straight, a timing tape. So it will be about 5 minutes while they sort out the timing tape. So if you just joined us on Sky Sport Next, it's the National Track Championships. This is event 16, the men's 1,000 metre time trial. We've had 2 heats. Hayden Jack taking the first one with a time of 1:07. Daniel Bridgewater, we're still waiting for his official time, but it was provisionally 1:02. Happy birthday to Elise Fraser. It's in the stand. So you can see the timing tape being put down, plugged in. And, hopefully things will start and stop as the riders cross the line. A few things for the riders to deal with tonight with the gate, the timing. So they get used to this. They usually work out their warm-up to the minute they want to start. So they just have to adjust everything slightly. Hayden Jack rode a 1:06 at the Southland Champs, thanks to Julian Einerson for sending that through. So he'll probably be a little bit disappointed with the ride here at the National Championships, but that can sometimes happen. It's just not your day. So we're just waiting. Once the timing is set, we'll have heat number 3. Keegan Hornblow of the Tasman Centre will be in the front straight. Zach Patterson, Waikato Bar Plenty will be in the back straight. The time they're chasing is 1:02 something. We didn't get that when the clock didn't stop for us for Daniel Bridgewater. But you're going to have to go quicker than 1:02. The National Track Championships for the elite, right down to the under 17s. Of course, the Masters Track Championships was a great success down in Southland last week, and it's something that I think will really grow the Masters Track Championships. It was a brilliant event down there, as always, in Southland. Of course, we were there around this time last year for the elite. We're back in Cambridge. So the timing tape has been replaced. I'll just run a little bit of a test, make sure everything's working, and we will be underway in this third session on day 1 of the Track National Championships, the 1,000 metre time trial. So following the elite men's 1,000 metre time trial, we'll have the under 19 1,000 metre time trial, 10 heats, 19 riders in that, and then the final event on the program this evening is the 15,000 metre scratch race. Defending champion George Jackson is lining up in that. It's going to be a cracker, as always. So there we go, Daniel Bridgewater, 102.710. And for Hamish Keast, a 105. So starting in the home straight, in heat number 3, Keegan Hornblow, the Tasman centre, Zach Patterson, Waikato Bar Plenty. So Zach Patterson's come through the age groups into the elite men. Dominant figure in the under 19s. Keegan Hornblow has been in great form. From rider, some brilliant rides here at the National Track Series. 10 seconds. So both riders 4 laps of the track in front of them. 1,000 metres. 102.710, the fastest time of the evening so far, set by Daniel Bridgewater. What can Zach Patterson, Keegan Hornblow do? They know the time. They'll both want to go under that. They're going to have to get close to the minute tonight to be amongst the medals. Of course, a 59 is the all-comers record here. Nick Kurgazoo did a 59.614 back in 2021. So Keegan Hornblow flying around. He's really on top of the gear now, down the back straight with the advantage. Really starting to push for a place in the men's team. 48 seconds through the 750. Fastest out there so far, so he's just got to keep it going, and he's looking good down the back. Zach Patterson comes down the front straight. Keegan Hornblow comes down to finish it off. 102.86. And Zach Patterson is a 104.4. Of course, we just can't see the little digits on the scoreboard. There you go, an 861 and 104.4. Dan Bridgewater still with the fastest time. You can see the speeds cranking up, 102, 56 kilometres an hour. Remember, that is from the standing start. Heat number 4 will be coming out onto the track. From Canterbury, John T. Harris. He will be lining up in the front straight. And over in the back straight, Kane Croup from West Coast, North Island. 30 seconds coming up for both riders. 4 laps of the track, 1,000 metres. 102 if you want to get in the mix so far. John T. Harris, the number 4 on the back. So gears, picking the right gear, a gear you can get on top of early enough to make a good start, but something that you're not going to pedal it out of. So both riders 12.9 through the first half lap. Jonty Harris comes down, Kane Croup. Both riders in the 20s, 20.5 for Kane Croup, just slightly faster by 0.3 of a second. So down the back, 34 through the 500. Kane Croup's riding well, he's got to keep it going. Jonty Harris, a little bit of work to do. Building into that ride though, now the last couple of laps, the last lap and a half, both riders go through, get the bell. So they're coming around to finish it off. Kane Croup down the back straight. Stops the clock with a 1:05.1. And Jonty Harris, 1:06. There you go, 1:06.89. 1:05.1 for Kane Croup. So Daniel Bridgewater still with that. 1:02.710, if you just joined us, sits top of the leaderboard. Two more heats in this men's 1,000 metre time trial final. The Southland's Tom Sexton lines up in the front straight. Two guns Tom. The big chain ring on. And George Jackson from Wellington in the back straight. Both exceptionally good all-round riders. Of course, George will be defending the scratch race title later this evening. Tom taking medal in the Elite Men's Road Race, of course a part of the Black Spoke Pro Cycling Academy. Golden Equities Pro Cycling Team. So a member of the men's 4,000 metre team's pursuit. George Jackson riding in the colours of Wellington. Tom pushes that big gear out of the starting gate as it round into turn 2 as George Jackson. He'll come down the front straight. Looks like he's got a monster chain ring on as well and a big gear. Sexton going to come around, stops the clock on the first lap. 20.13, so a very good opening lap for Tom Sexton. You know he won't slow down. A man that can motor over 4,000 metres. George Jackson, though, he's in the fight. Sexton just, George Jackson just that time. There's not much between these two. Absolutely nothing. They come around to get the bell. Who's going to finish off the last lap? George Jackson by the slimmest of margins. Tom Sexton, George Jackson goes down the back straight. George Jackson's finishing it off nicely. 1:02.4. And 1:02.9 for Tom Sexton. 1:02.912. 1:02.410. George Jackson goes to the top of the leaderboard. The 1:02, very good ride from the big man from Wellington. So if you just jumped on, we're coming up to the last heat in the men's 1,000 metre time trial. Nick Kurgazoo and Hugo Jones. It's Kurgazoo, the fastest man on paper in this field tonight. National record holder and all-comers record holder. Hugo Jones in the back straight. So can anyone get close to the 1 minute? We've had 3 102s. Man there, Nick Kurgazoo, has delivered a sub-1 before here in Cambridge. In seconds. Oh, he busts out of the gates, Nick Kurgazoo. Hugo Jones, Nick Kurgazoo, he wants to do a good ride. He's definitely the most talented all-round cyclist in the country. Rode a sub-10 200. He'll be looking for a minute or under kilo tonight. Nick Kurgazoo from Southland. 19.4 for the first lap. Tracking nicely, fastest out on the track so far in the early stages. He's at the halfway, comes through the 500, 32.8. Nick Kurgazoo, he's absolutely flying. He's nearly in the same straight. Hugo Jones working hard in the back straight, trying to do a good time. Nick Kurgazoo comes in to get the bell. What can he do over the last lap? Goes through, he's got 46 seconds through the 750. Still sitting nice and still down the back straight. Nick Kurgazoo, half a lap to go. 53, what's he going to come down? What can he do? He's sailed in the line beautifully. Stops the clock, 1:00.29. 1:00.29 for Nick Kurgazoo. Excellent ride. So, of course, provisionally, a championship record for Nick Kurgazoo. There we go, 2:96, there's confirming the results. Nick Kurgazoo with that 1 minute, 2:96. George Jackson, 1:02.410. Daniel Bridgewater, very good ride for third, 1:02.710. Keegan Hornblow, Tom Sexton, Hugo Jones, Zach Patterson and Kane Croup are your top 8. In the men's 1,000 metre time trial, well, the 1 minute ride produced once again by Nick Kurgazoo. The man, he can do everything on a bike. He can sprint over 200 metres. A minute kilo. He'll be back out there in the endurance races later on. So we move on to the under 19 men's 1,000 metre time trial. Well, they've seen how to do it. You just get out there and ride for 1 minute or thereabouts. Xavier Fraser is the first man to start us off. 10 heats, 19 riders. So he's into his work. First lap completed, he's done a 22. Settles down onto the aero bars. It's a very good field in the under 19 men's 1,000 metre time trial. So if you can produce the low ones, the 102s, 103s, you might be in the mix tonight. But a big field in the kilo. It's a punishing event, it's a long sprint. Starting to hurt a bit now. The pedaling action's getting a little bit square. Best offs the clock with 1:14.89. Xavier Fraser from Southland. So averaged 48 kilometres an hour for the 4 laps from a standing start. Next heat, Tom Kerr, James Lanigan. So Tom Kerr from Southland, Lanigan from Tasman will be in the back straight. So heat number 2 of 10. Under 19 men's 1,000 metre time trial final. Track National Championships, day number 1, session number 3. Thanks for joining us on Sky Sport Next. Riders get countdown, 20 seconds to go. So clean starts. Nice wide shot, both riders getting away safely. Southland man out of turn 2 down the back straight. Rider from Tasman still out of the seat, sits down now into his work. He'll go around to complete the first lap. Southland with the advantage, a 21.6 opening lap. The well-performed rider, young Tom Kerr from Southland. He's looking good through the 500. He'll start to bite soon. He'll try and keep on top of it. He looks down the track. You can see the Tasman colours in the distance. Tom Kerr, 1 to go. He'll get the bell. Goes through the 750 and 52. Still looking good. Still holding a good line. He'll come around. He's going to set the fastest time of the night so far in the under 19 men's with a 1:08.4. We go 4:62, 1:08, 4:62 for Tom Kerr and a 1:12.9 for James Lanigan. So good to see the Tasman riders here. So we'll be into heat number 3. Scott Henderson from Southland, Darcy Sanders of Canterbury. It'll be the Canterbury rider in the back straight. Sid Cumming just getting the Southland rider's bike set up. And rider number 71, Scott Henderson of Southland. It's the big long legs over the saddle. The final instructions as we look at Darcy Sanders of Canterbury. Darcy Sanders of Canterbury sits there in the back straight. Scott Henderson. Scott Henderson underway. Both riders away safely. So Henderson down the back straight. Sanders looks good, winding up, stayed out of the seat, a little bit of a wobble as he went onto the aero bars, but he has the advantage. The Southland's got a little bit of work to do, but it's 4 laps, 1,000 metres. You can go out hot and leave yourself a little bit flat. Darcy Sanders, though, absolutely flying. Southland man heads down the back straight. Sanders comes out of the front straight, heads down the back now. He's looking very good, Darcy Sanders. There's Darcy Sanders coming down. He's looking very good. He's got half a lap to go into the home straight. There's Darcy Sanders with a 108. So a low 108. We'll just see when it comes up on the scoreboard. 108.8, I think. 108.82. 108.122. So Darcy Sanders with the 108.122. Just sits top of the leaderboard after 3 heats of 10. So our next heat, heat number 4, Conrad Clark of Southland. He is in the front straight. And Charlie Egan of Canterbury in the back straight. So Egan has taken a few deep breaths. Lee Tonelli overshoes on, trying to make himself a little bit more aerodynamic. Conrad Clark concentrates. It's a nice start. Both riders slightly different positions out of the starting gates. As we watch the Southland man, the Canterbury rider coming down the front straight onto the aero bars. Nice low aerodynamic position. Swung wide on the track, that bit him a little bit in the corner. So that costs you a few seconds, or a few hundredths of a second anyway. Conrad Clark going down the back straight. The Canterbury rider, it's close, there's not much between these two. It's even at the moment. So who's going to produce the best last lap? They'll come in to get the bell with 1 to go. The Southland man just slightly down. Charlie Hegan from Canterbury is going to finish this off with a very nice ride with a 106.7. So there we go, 106.7 and 107. And 2.0, so very good rides from those riders putting themselves at 1 and 2. So that was heat number 4 of 10. As we go through the heats 1 through 10, run as the seedings, we should get a little bit quicker each heat. There's Austin Norwell of Auckland coming up into the front straight to get himself ready. So Austin Norwell will be up against the man in the back straight, Wilson Hannon from the West Coast, North Island. About 25 seconds on the clock, you can see. The rider's getting counted down and the brakes won't come off that back wheel until we hit 0. Coming up 10 seconds. So Austin Norwell underway on the front straight. Wilson Hannon from the West Coast comes down the front straight. Settles in nicely onto a 0 bars. Austin Norwell. So they know what they've got to do. They've just got to hold it together, keep building on the ride, hold the top speed. Both riders on top of their gear. Speed building nicely. We'll have a look as the Norwell comes down in front of me with the advantage. Fastest man so far. Come around to finish this off. Austin Norwell, what's he going to stop it? Top position with 105.6. $105.610 and a 107.3. So 105.610. Austin Norwell of Auckland. At the halfway stage, sits top of the leaderboard now. He'll go down to the rollers, warm down and wait. Has he done enough? So on the back straight, Jack Gillingham, Waikato Bay of Plenty, so both riders from Waikato Bay of Plenty. In the front straight, it's Matthew Davis. So Matthew Davis onto the look bike, and Jack Gillingham is on the Avanti in the back straight. Gillingham races out of Tauranga, but been a regular here, racing in Cambridge. Matthew Davis. 20 seconds. Matthew Davis trying to get everything out of it. Jack Gillingham. Down the back straight into the front straight, it's Matthew Davis. So both riders with a bit of work to do if they want to challenge the fastest times. Matthew Davis sitting in second fastest at the moment. 2 to go on the board as they go down their respective straights. Jack Gillingham, Matthew Davis. Gillingham comes down past us in the front straight. Matthew Davis travelling nicely. Gets the bell. Still holding that second position. He's just got to keep it together. Jack Gillingham making a little bit of a comeback. Matthew Davis dropped down to the third fastest time. He's just got to fight all the way to the line. Stops the clock at 1:07.09. 1:07.2, Jack Gillingham. So very close ride between the two Waikato riders. 1:07.094 for Matthew Davis and 1:07.265 for Jack Gillingham. So there's the leader still, Austin Norwell with 1:05.6, so you can breathe a little bit. We have 4 more heats. The last 2 to go will be Jonathan Fish and Marshall Irwood. But next on the track will be Jackson White, Mid-South Canterbury. He will be in the front straight, the nice green and black. And Edward Pawson from Auckland will be in the back straight. As we get a good look at Edward Pawson. His dad Tim just gives him a little pat on the shoulder. His mum Penny rode an outstanding race today in the Elite Women's Scratch Race, picking up 4th. And if you think, well, it's not bad, well, if you know, Penny is actually a master cyclist. So just had word over the radio, there's an issue on the back straight, so we will just have a little bit of a delay, I think, while it gets reset. Won't be too long. So just getting the bike set nice and straight. It's got to be in the right position. Coach and rider have both got to be happy, particularly the rider. He sits on there, he's got to be confident. Edward Pawson relaxes in the back straight on the bars, taking some deep breaths. 15 seconds on the clock. Jackson White, Mid-South Canterbury. Well, he looks at the clock as the gate opens, so he didn't get out quite as smooth as he was like. Nice start from Edward Pawson. So Edward Pawson gets the look wound up as he comes down the front straight in the Auckland colours. Jackson White is on top of it quickly, though. He's recovered well. He comes around and there's nothing in between them in the first lap. Edward Pawson, third fastest to date on that opening lap. Keeps the head nice and low, tucked up on the aero bars. Jackson White also looking very good. Edward Pawson at the 500 takes the number 1 position. He's just got to keep it going, and if you look at him over the races he rides, he doesn't usually slow down too much. Jackson White. Edward Pawson, can he hold it together with half a lap to go? Still sits top. Very nice ride from Edward Pawson. Jackson White comes back. Very fast last lap. Jackson White, 1:04.4. 1:04.9, sorry, and 1:04.9. There we go. Nothing between them. Jackson White, 9:08. Edward Pawson, 9:69. What a last lap from Jackson White. 104.908. And 104.969. Well, that last lap was a blistering one from Jackson White. Jackson White has set the time. That'll make some of the other riders to come a little bit nervous as we look at Ronan Sharon of Southland coming up onto the front straight here in the velodrome, gets himself all set. So again, Sid Cummin looking after all the Southland riders. And over in the back straight, just coming up the ramp, looking nice and relaxed. Oliver Watson-Palmer, Waikato Bar Plenty. So look at both riders settling in. The handlers come off the track as they get the 30-second countdown. Ronan sharing as we look across the track. Oliver Watson-Palmer over there in the back straight. He's got the long aero bars on. Let's test that position. Ronan Sharon nicely away. So he's got a pretty big gear on, the young fella from Southland. Oliver Watson-Palmer, Waikato Bar Plenty, heads down the back straight, 3 to go. So Oliver Watson-Palmer on a very good opening lap. He's flying, looking exceptionally good on the bike, nice and low. Nice start from Oliver Watson-Palmer. 34.7 through the 500. Fastest through the 500 tonight. Oh, Watson-Palmer. Down the back. He'll get the bell. Ronan Sharon's though starting to come back a little bit. Oliver Watson-Palmer starting to hit. Ronan Sharon's coming back. Ronan Sharon, can he bring it home? Oliver Watson-Palmer's done enough. Takes it. 104. 104.4. 104.4 for Oliver Watson-Palmer. So he goes to the top of the leaderboard with that 4.79. Ronan Sharon with 105.325. In fourth place with 2 heats to go. This is the under-19 men's 1,000 metre time trial final. We have 2 more heats. In the front straight, we will have Luke Blackwood of Auckland, and in the back straight, Kyle Atkin, Waikato Bay of Plenty. Luke Blackwood, nice and relaxed as he comes up onto the track. Let's have 30 seconds. And the 19 men's 1,000 metre time trial. .104.479, the fastest time of the evening so far. So Luke Blackwood underway. in the front straight. We see him heading out of turn 2, down to the back straight, out of the seat, winding up, trying to get on top of the gear. Kyle Adkin gets onto the long arrow bars, tucks himself in nicely. He's got the head down by the hands. So Luke Blackwood, very good opening. 34.0 through the 500 is the number 1 spot so far. Luke Blackwood, but there's nothing in it. Kyle Adkin just slightly behind at the moment, about 300ths of a second. Luke Blackwood looking comfortable. Easy to say, you've got to hang on in the kilometre over the last 250. Still with the advantage, Luke Blackwood. And Luke Blackwood, 104, 104.3 and 104.2 for Kyle Adkin. We will wait for the official times. There we go. Kyle Adkin, 104.223. Very good last half lap from him to take that off. Luke Blackwood, who produced that 104.320. So 1 and 2 with 1 heat to go. .104.223, the time to beat. And the last 2 riders with a chance of doing that. Jonathan Fish, he will be in the front straight. That's his bike being set up in the starting gate. Jonathan from Mid-South Canterbury. Marshall Irwood from Southland. There he goes. Up the steps. Warmed up, ready to get on the bike. Jonathan Fish. Jonathan Fish, Mid-South Canterbury. Marshall Irwood of Southland in the back straight. They know the time to beat, 104.223. So both away well. Jonathan Fish might have had the slight advantage out of the gate. He's a little bit closer to us. As we see the man from Mid-South Canterbury going down the back straight. There's Southland's Marshall Irwood. Irwood with the double discs on. In the colours of Southland. Fish comes down in front of us. Jonathan Fish. So they've both got a bit of work to do after that opening lap, sitting in 3rd and 4th position. They've just got to keep winding up, keep getting speed faster. 104.223 is the time to beat. Irwood, they're still down on the fastest time of the night by Kyle Adkin. Jonathan Fish, though, he's looks like he's picked it up a bit. Marshall Irwood. Dropped off. Jonathan Fish. Doesn't quite do it, the 104. So 104 was the number. He's into that 3rd spot. There we go. 104.467 for Jonathan Fish. Mid-South Canterbury gives him 3rd place. 1,000 metre time trial final. Marshall Irwood will finish in 5th. It's Kyle Adkin, of course, provisionally, Waikato Bar Plenty, who takes it out. There we go. It is confirmed. Kyle Adkin, 104.223 from Luke Blackwood. Jonathan Fish. Look at that. The top 6 riders all producing. Top 7 riders all 104s. Edward Pawson, 104.969 in 7th. So not much between the Top riders in the under-19 men's 1,000-metre time trial. That means we're going to have plenty of fast, close racing in under-19 men going forward throughout these championships. Kyle Atkin, congratulations. Fantastic ride. 104.223 to take out the under-19 men's 1,000-metre time trial. We'll see the infield being set up for the presentations for the kilometre time trials, elite men and under 19 men. And after the presentations, we'll be into the final event of the evening. Of course, with the championships being run over 3 sessions. The morning session, midday, evening session. It's quite a nice clean format, but it's don't quite get the buzz and the hum of everyone here, but it's fantastic to have these championships, and big thanks to Cycling New Zealand and the events team for what they've been able to do under the red light level for all cycling events. Of course, we had a wonderful mountain bike nationals down there in Christchurch, along with the Criterium Nationals, and now we're here in Cambridge for the track nationals, the Masters event last week down there in Southland. So it's been a busy time for the events team and all the officials working tirelessly under these level 3 conditions. And thanks very much for joining us on Sky Sport Next. Al Woodford with you this evening. We'll be going to the presentations shortly, and then we'll have the final event of the evening, the 15,000 metre scratch race. So while I was setting up for the presentations, run through the field, the defending champions, George Jackson, 15,000 metre scratch race, 60 laps, Nick Kirkazoo, Tom Sexton, Dan Bridgewater, Hugo Jones, Kian Watts, Hamish Keese, Keegan Hornblow, Zach Patterson, John T. Harris, Kane Croup, Christian Rush, and Dylan Cumming other starters. So they'll be on following the presentations. Of course, riders just getting themselves warmed down, as you can see in the pits. Each team has a pit area. They're operating in their bubbles between the 3 groups, morning groups, the evening groups, and the midday. Some great racing this afternoon. Congratulations to the riders that took out the medals in that, and you can see the Southland team there. Always have a great spirit in the Southland team. There's the Waikato team. Ray Sheath running that, doing a fantastic job as manager of the Waikato team as always. Got a bit of work to do. I think they're lagging a little bit behind in the points shield competition after a fantastic Masters by the Canterbury Centre. Mid-South Canterbury, nice bright green, easy to spot them on the track and in the pits. All those bikes stacked up there, that's the hire bikes. If you want to have a go here at the velodrome, you can just come down and have a roll. Anyone can get the opportunity to ride on this facility. Wendy's going to give it a go later. Riders just making their way over to the presentation area. After the presentation, the riders will make their way, the senior riders, over to their bikes, and they'll be back on the track for 60 laps, 15 kilometres. Men's scratch race final coming up after the presentations. Always a cracker race. So tomorrow morning, the riders will be back here at 9 a.m. Their first event tomorrow will be the under-17 boys sprint qualifying. Under-17 girls scratch race, boys sprints semi-finals, under-17 boys scratch race. So great exciting program. No doubt there'll be plenty of people tuned in on Sky Sport Next for the under-17s tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. The riders are just about all there for the presentation. Won't be too far away from getting underway with the presentations for the under-19 and elite men's 1,000 metre time trials. We'll just head down to the men's 1,000 metre medal presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, the award ceremony for the 2022 Track National Championships Elite Men's 1,000 metre time trial will now take place. The medals will be presented by Michelle Henderson, a member of the Cycling New Zealand board. In third place, and the winner of the bronze medal, representing Waikato Bay of Plenty, Daniel Bridgewater. In second place, and the winner of the silver medal, representing Wellington, George Jackson. And in first place, the winner of the gold medal and the recipient of a national jersey, the 2022 Elite Men's 1,000 metre time trial national champion, and in a championship record time, representing Southland, Nick Kirkazoo. Nick also receives the BSA Challenge Cup and a native plant from our proud sponsors, Amber Garden Centre. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for our place getters in the 2022 Track National Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, the award ceremony for the 2022 Track National Championship Under-19 Men's 1,000 time trial will now take place. The medals will once again be presented by Michelle Henderson from the Cycling New Zealand board. Yep. In third place, and the winner of the bronze medal, representing Mid-South Canterbury, Jonathan Fish. In second place, and the winner of the silver medal, representing Auckland, Luke Blackwood. And first place, and the winner of the gold medal and the recipient of a national jersey, the 2022 Under-19 Men's 1,000 metre time trial national champion, representing Waikato Bay of Plenty, Kyle Aitken. Kyle also receives the John R. Holloway Memorial Challenge Cup and a native plant from our proud sponsors, Amber Garden Centre. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for the place getters in the 2022 Track National Championship.
The riders will start coming up onto the track for the final event on the program tonight. Session 3, day 1 of the National Track Championships. The next event will be the 15,000 metre elite men's scratch race. So one of the easiest races to follow. All line up on the fence, they say go, and the first man across the line at the end of 60 laps is the winner. Of course, you can get riders lapping the field. But they will usually, depending on what the commissaire, the referee decides, they might take a number off the track if there's a group gets away. Or the race will continue with the... If one rider's taken the lap, they'll automatically take first place and the others will be sprinting for the minors. As the race goes on, if you're not sure where the front of the race is, you always just have a look. It'll be Brendan down there in the white shirt, who is the starter. He'll always be pointing to the leading rider of the race. Tom Sexton first up onto the track, ready to go. Daniel Bridgewater will be making his way up onto the track. Just had to have a wheel change, had a puncture And he'll be coming up onto the track and they'll all be lining up. 60 laps, 15 kilometres is the distance. Final event on day one, session 3 here at the National Track Championships. Whilst running through to the 19th of March. You'll be able to join each session on skysportnext. Thanks very much for joining us this evening. I'm Dale Woodford. I'll be back with you again tomorrow evening. So Brendan will just check everybody off. Zach Patterson coming up to his spot on the rail. Brendan's happy. There's the defending champion, George Jackson, on the front, and behind him, Nick Kurgazoo, then Tom Sexton, Daniel Bridgewater, Hugo Jones, just checking the feet are all clipped in, Kiam Watts, Hamish Keast, Keegan Hornblow, Zach Patterson. There's Zach, just there, then John T. Harris, Kane Croup, Christian Rush, and at the back there, Dylan Cummin, West Coast North Island. So that's all the riders lined up, 15,000 metre men's scratch race. Brendan's happy, they roll away on the neutral lap. If they come around in a nice group, then we will be underway and racing with 60 laps. First rider across the line will win, the defending champion from Wellington, George Jackson. Plenty of riders after this title to add their name to the illustrious list of past winners. Gun goes. Nick Kurgazoo just pulls up, leads them away. Tom Sexton does the same, so nice casual start. Daniel Bridgewater, Hugo Jones, Kiam Watts in the all black helmet, just sits there. See Kiam on the track. 28, Keegan Hornblow, nice and low. He'll be one to watch in this race. He's been in great form. Then Zach Patterson, Kane Croup, Kristen Rush, the riders just sorting themselves out. They know it's a long way, 58, 15,000 metres. There'll be fireworks at some stage. Brendan just points to the front of the bunch. John T. Harris, 2 Cantabrians in the elite men's 15,000 metre scratch race. Ewan Clinton is on the bell, keeping account of the laps. Daniel Bridgewater takes over on the front from Kiam Watts. George Jackson, the defending champion, just sits at the back of the field. Keegan Hornblow moves up the track. Zach Patterson does the same. Kane Croup goes through. Tom Sexton, Hugo Jones, Rush, Hamish Keast just picks the pace up down the back straight. It's a short little lap. George Jackson, he swings up. Nick Kurgazoo has a look over his shoulder. Kane Croup, West Coast North Island, just having a little bit of a look as he drifts back. Patterson, Croup. Now Jones takes over, so riders just lapping off, fairly short turns at the moment. Christian Rush moves to the top of the bank in the colours of Auckland. Hamish Keith does the same. George Jackson rolls through on the inside. Kurgazoo tracks him. Keegan Hornblow sits there. The colours of Tasman, third wheel. Zach Patterson sits in behind him. We're all quite happy at the moment just to keep things rolling. 50 to go. Didn't take long to get through the first 10 laps. Well, I wondered when Tom Sexton would pick it up, and there he goes, just decides, well, we better just turn it up a little bit. So Tom Sexton, down the back straight, comes into the front. Big long lap from Tom. Two Guns Tom decides, well, it's time to pick it up. Christian Russ sits in behind him. Tom Sexton swings up. Christian Russ has a little bit of a look. Then moves up. Hamish Keys takes over. Short turn from him. Then John T. Harris, George Jackson, Nick Kurgazoo, Kian Watts. Dylan Cummin. Kian Watts looking nice and comfortable. Moves to the top. Cummin swings up as well. He was starting to bite the handlebars a little bit. Dane Crook goes, Keegan Hornblow moves up the track. Zach Patterson. And Owen keen to keep it going after Tom Sexton picked up the pace for a few laps. So it's Sexton once again. Keith sits in behind him. John T. Harris, the defending champions. George Jackson, Kian Watts, Keegan Hornblow, Nick Kurgazoo. Hugo Jones got a couple of bike links to close. As you can see, Hugo Jones had to do a little bit of work down the back straight to bring himself back into contention. He's got there. Onto the wheel of Hamish Keys. Daniel Bridgewater moves up. Had a good night, good start to the championships with the medal in the kilometre time trial. Well, Tom Sexton, he's made his intentions clear. It's not going to be easy. Swings up, Hamish Keys keeps it going. So Sexton dives down the track. George Jackson goes, well, we better get after him. Kian Watts is on the wheel of George Jackson, getting the draft behind the big man in the colours of Wellington. Jackson swings up. Kian Watts trying to get up onto the two Tom Sexton. In case there we see Kian Watts has closed it. It's back together. Keith has a look. Keegan Hornblow's getting there. Nick Kurgazoo sitting there. Kurgie's just waiting. He's got the kilometre wrapped up tonight. He'll be backing himself over the last couple of laps. $39 to go. Hugo Jones, John T. Harris, Christian Rush. It's the way they travel down the back. Zach Patterson. Zach Patterson has a wee look around as he moves up the track. So Keegan Hornblow, Nick Kurgazoo, you see the streaming through, George Jackson just sitting in the middle. Dylan Cumming decides, well, it's enough tonight, and he pulls himself down onto the infield. Onto the apron, and we'll come around and off the tracks. Hamish Keys keeps things going at the front. Kian Watts tucked in behind him. Keegan Hornblow. Hugo Jones. Hugo Jones moves up. Nick Kurgazoo, Daniel Bridgewater, Kane Croup, Christian Rush, John T. Harris. First few as they go down the back, still the group quite happy together. They'll get 33 to go as they come past us now. 33 on the lap boards. Christian Rush takes over. Brendan points to the front of the race. Stephen Holdsworth just keeping an eye on things as well. The red flag in hand if needed. Jackson swings to the top of the track. What's George Jackson's plan to defend the title? It was a flyer last year with a few to go, and then he hung on. Tom Sexton's just settled back down. Hugo Jones is bringing them around. Kurgazoo, Daniel Bridgewater, Kane Croup, Christian Rush, Tom Sexton. John T. Harris sits midfield in the red Canterbury colours with the white helmet. George Jackson behind him, Zach Patterson. He's the Waikato rider with the white helmet on. Daniel Bridgewater. It's on the all black. It's got the tri-spoke front wheel. 16 keen to get it going. John T. Harris is a short little turn, swings up. Jackson, Patterson, Keast, Kearn Watts, Tom Sexton. Well, he's got the right gear on tonight. Who's going to have the big gear going for the last couple of laps, because you're going to need it. When they light it up, they're going to go. They've got 28 on the board. Kearn Watts, Tom Sexton, Keegan Hornblow, Hugo Jones. Just sitting off the wheels a little bit tonight. Swings up. Maybe just not firing on all the cylinders as he would quite like, or he's just bluffing. We'll find out. 27 to go. Keegan Hornblow goes, well, I'll just drift off the front. I've got the gap now. There's a little bit of looking at each other. Christian Rush, he swings up. John T. Harris, George Jackson, Keegan Hornblow out front. Defending champion moves up, but Keegan Hornblow just sits there on his own. Hamish Keast decides, well, maybe we better get after him. Kearn Watts swings up. Tom Sexton, he's not too worried. And Keegan Hornblow moves to the top of the track. Goes, well, 25 to go, maybe just a little bit early. So no big attacks yet, 24 to go. Men's scratch race, 15,000 metres. There was 60 at the start. 60 laps on the board. We're down to the last 24. All bar one of the field still out there. John T. Harris moves up the track. George Jackson, Zach Patterson, Hamish Keast, Kearn Watts sitting there. Tom Sexton just floating high on the track. Keegan Hornblow sees that. Two Guns Tom just floats around the top. Kearn Watts has a look. So Tom just winding up like he's going in for the flying 200. High on the track, covering a bit of distance. There he goes down and off he goes off the front. Tom Sexton, Hugo Jones goes, well, I'm not going after him. So Tom Sexton, Daniel Bridgewater being asked to do the work. So Tom Sexton with 20 to go goes, well, now's the time to do it. Kane Croup flicks the elbow. Christian Rush goes through straight up the track. John T. Harris is going to put in a big lap down the back straight. Going after Tom Sexton, John T. Harris. Then George Jackson, Zach Patterson. Tom goes, well, gave it a nudge. They didn't let me go. They know the danger of Tom Sexton, give him too much, and you won't see him again. Keegan Hornblow takes them down the back straight. Kearn Watts. Dan Bridgewater, he doesn't mind just putting his head down and doing the work when he needs to. Kearn Watts has a little look, 18 to go. Goes, oh, just maybe. Floats off the front. Dan Bridgewater knows the strength and speed of Kearn Watts. He's a smooth peddler. So Kian Watts with that smooth pedalling style just creeps off the front. 17 to go. Dan Bridgewater's with him now. That's a good pair to get away. They'll work hard. George Jackson, the defending champion. Hamish Keese goes up onto the back wheel of George Jackson, the two out front. Kian Watts saw the opportunity, didn't burn too many matches going away, having Daniel Bridgewater with you. He's a good man to have. He's got plenty of horsepower. Look at them winding up down the back. Dan Bridgewater. The Waikato pair, Bridgewater, Kian Watts out front. John T. Harris is going to try and bring a little bit back for Canterbury. Brendan points to the leading two riders. We can all see who they are. 15 to go. Kian Watts has a little nosy over the shoulder. Nick Gigglesy moves to the top of the track. Dan Bridgewater has a look. They've got the gap. 14 to go. It's a little bit of looking at each other. There's the boy with the long locks. The two of them, Keast and Jackson, swings up the track. Out front, look at them. Working well together. Short turns. Kian Watts, Daniel Bridgewater. Well, they've got the length of the straight. John T. Harris just goes out of shot. He moves up the track. Well, the Southland boys, are they thinking they're getting together? They're lining up, but they haven't gone yet. Maybe they're just tracking each other. Well, they've picked it up out front. Dan Bridgewater, Kian Watts. They're going, well, there's 12 to go. They better come after us. They're going to make them hurt. Kian Watts has a look across. Daniel Bridgewater kicks hard onto the wheel. Kian Watts down the back. They've nearly got half a lap. So Kian Watts is in good form tonight. Daniel Bridgewater saw the move, went after it, got up there and is working out front, out hard. 10 to go. 10 to go, 15,000 metre scratch race. Nick Kirkazoo moves up the track. Tom Sexton tracks him. Tracks him like Velcro. George Jackson goes through. Christian Rush, John T. Harris, but here's the leading two coming down with 9 to go. As we look at the leading two, there's the bunch going through. Just have a look. It's a bit of a wide shot there. They're spread across the track. Bridgewater, Kian Watts. Daniel Bridgewater, Kian Watts with half a lap. They've got 8 to go. They're not slowing down. They can see them. Hamish Keese has a look. Zach Patterson has a look. Well, he's not too worried. He's got two teammates up front. He just floats. George Jackson, the defending champion. Goes, well, I'm half a lap down with 7 to go. Two out front, Daniel Bridgewater working hard. There's John T. Harris on the front for Canterbury. Has anyone got anything? They're nearly onto the back, nearly into the same straight. Kian Watts, Daniel Bridgewater, they look like they got this in the bag with 6 to go. Christian Rush picks that up. George Jackson looks across, still more than half a lap behind. 5 to go. Kian Watts comes down, has a look. Daniel Bridgewater is going to be on the podium twice tonight. Got a puncher before the start, had to change his wheel, didn't upset the big man. 4 to go. Kian Watts, Daniel Bridgewater. Kian Watts has a look. He's got to be the favourite with the sprint he can produce. Daniel Bridgewater, look at him down the back. He sees the riders in front. With 4 to go, they might lap them. John T. Harris goes, not tonight. I'm going to go out front. 3 to go. Kian Watts, Dan Bridgewater, what are they going to do? They're going to float on the back. Float it out between them, or are they going to let them? John T. Harris has gone. He's seen 3 on the board. He's going to keep going. So John T. Harris has got the gap. There's 2 to go for the leading 2 riders. Daniel Bridgewater, Kian Watts. Kian Watts takes over Daniel Bridgewater. What's Bridgewater going to do? They're going to come around. They'll get the bell next time. The leading 2 riders are just staying off the back. John T. Harris, here's the race for the bronze. And it's lighting up out the back as we say we're on the front riders, but you can see George Jackson, the defending champion. He's going down the back straight. Kian Watts has got out of his seat. Kian Watts is going after this one. He really wants it. Daniel Bridgewater's glued to his wheel. He's going to come around. Kian Watts is going to take it out. Kian Watts, Daniel Bridgewater. And we've looked back. George Jackson, the defending champion, trying to get on the podium. Kane Croup trying to get over the top, but Jackson takes the bronze. Good ride from Jonty Harris, getting up there in 5th place. Well, they say fortune favours the brave, and they went out with a few to go. Kean Watts got the opportunity to ride off the front, and he couldn't have got a better partner to go with. If you want someone to pair up, Daniel Bridgewater, well, he didn't miss a beat, and he just increased the pace when they had to. Very good ride from the 2 Waikato riders. Kean Watts, Daniel Bridgewater. Well, 2 podiums tonight in the kilo and then in the 15,000 for Daniel Bridgewater. 1 for 1 for Kean Watts. Had a very smart race. Well, great way to finish day 1 of the National Track Championships, the 3rd session, the men's 15,000 metre scratch race. The national champion, Kean Watts, taking it out from Daniel Bridgewater. Defending champion, George Jackson, getting up for the bronze. So also on the podium, backing up from a medal in the kilo. So we'll have the presentation for the 15,000 metre scratch race before we wrap up the evening. Thanks very much for joining us on Sky Sport Next. I'm Dale Woodford. It's been great being with you this evening. Look forward to being back tomorrow night. Of course, racing will start tomorrow at 9 a.m. Big program, under 15, under 17s on the track tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So make sure you tune in. As we just see Ray Sheath walking down with Kean Watts. Big thanks to the team at Sky Sport and SBI Productions for what they've done throughout the day, bringing the racing to you at home, because we can't have spectators in here. Just over 200 riders competing over the weekend, and it's great to have this format back with the under 15s, under 17, under 19s and para. Plenty of competition to come. Of course, the Masters, they were in action down in Invercargill 2 weeks ago. Big thanks to Cycling New Zealand and the support of Skoda, the Amber Garden Centre, Lavender Acre Farm, and the funding received by Trillion Trust. Big thanks to the Cycling New Zealand performance partners that include Southern Spars, Cass Helmets, Lacole, Victoria, and Didrit. So there we go, just confirming the results of the men's 15,000 metre scratch race final. Kean Watts, Daniel Bridgewater, George Jackson, Kane Krupp getting up for 4th, Jonty Harris, Keegan Hornplow, Zach Patterson, Nick Kurgazoo rounding out the top 8. So tomorrow morning racing will get underway with the under 17 boys sprint qualifying. Then we'll have the under 17 girls scratch race heats, 3,000 metres, under 17 boys sprints first round. Under 15 points, full morning of racing for under 15, under 17s tomorrow mornings from 9 a.m. Then from 3 p.m. we'll start with the elite women's sprint qualifying. So 3 p.m. again tomorrow, 3 sessions starting at 9, 3 and 7 p.m. Now, if you missed the kilometre time trial early this evening, Nick Kurgazoo produced a 1 minute .29 to take out the men's elite title and a new New Zealand Championship record for Nick Kurgazoo. So the riders are getting themselves hydrated and that they're over at the presentation area. So shortly we will be underway with the presentation for the 15,000 metre men's scratch race. They're just about all set down there for the presentation, the men's 15,000 metre scratch race. And we'll be catching up with Nick Kurgazoo, who's had a great night, of course setting a championship record in the kilometre.
Ladies and gentlemen, the award ceremony for the 2022 Track National Championships Elite Men's Scratch Race will now take place. The medals will be presented by Michelle Henderson from the Cycling New Zealand Board. In third place, and the winner of the bronze medal, representing Wellington, George Jackson. In second place, and the winner of the silver medal, representing Waikato Bay of Plenty, Daniel Bridgewater. In first place, and the winner of the gold medal, and the recipient of a national jersey, your 2022 Elite Men's Scratch Race National Champion, representing Waikato Bay of Plenty, Kean Watts. Kean also receives the Phillips Challenge Cup and a native plant from our proud sponsors, Amber Garden Centre. ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for the place getters in the 2022 Elite Men's Scratch Race.
Your time.
All right, we are catching up with George Jackson, bronze medal winner from the scratch race tonight. George, talk us through that race.
Yeah, it was a very hard race. It was on and off, so made it hard to keep in the right position, but yeah, it was good fun.
It's day one of a 5-day track carnival, track championship. So how has your preparation gone and what's next for you after these 4 days?
Preparation's been good. We've been in a 2-week track camp before this, so we've been training hard, so it's going well. And then we've got Oshis the week after track nationals, so looking forward to it.
You're proudly representing Wellington, so it's fantastic to have you here, and we know that Wellington we have a great outside track carnival community down there. Talk us through what that support means to you.
Yeah, the Wellington crew have always just been so good to me, helping me out. But I live up here in Cambridge now, so still get the good support, and it's always good to see them when they come up for nationals.
Awesome, thank you, and good luck for the rest of the championship. Hi, Daniel Bridgewater, 2 races in the 2022 track championship and 2 medals.
Yeah, it was pretty grim with an hour turnaround at tops, so I'm a bit tired now, so we'll try and rest up for the points race tomorrow, I think.
Is this your first podium at track nationals?
Yeah, pretty much. I think we might have got bronze last year in the team pursuit, but individual podium, yeah.
In your background, are you from cycling or you?
No, sorry, I'll wait for the microphone. No, so I was a rower previously, rode for 10 years, and then switched over just over 2 years ago to cycling. I was living with Eddie Dawkins at the time, and rowing was going a bit south, so kind of convinced me to jump on the bike.
And obviously you prefer cycling.
Yeah, well, it's going well, so.
And what's next for you? We've got 4 more days of track championships, and then what's on the cards for that, and then looking into the near future?
So 4 days left. We'll have obviously points race and IP and everything. And then after that should be Oshis, assuming stay healthy and everything. Beyond that, I guess it's kind of as it comes. Just keep trying to progress.
Awesome, congratulations, and we'll catch up with you later.
Cool, thanks very much.
Kean Watts, our new National Elite Men's Scratch Race champion. How does that feel?
It's pretty cool. It's been a while since I won a bike race. So yeah, I was pretty stoked. Yeah.
And the lead up, has this been a focus for you in the lead up? And then what is next for you, I suppose, post these 4 days looking ahead?
I haven't done any tracks since last year, so this is the first time I've been on it in 2022. So it was nice to sort of get the hang of it straight away, and yeah, you never really lose the feeling of the track. So yeah, it was fun. And post track nationals, I'll be heading overseas in exactly a month, from now.
Cool, and you helped us out at the Criterium Champs as a commentator, and we've got you on board for later in the week. You did a great job. Is something you're enjoying?
Yeah, it's fun sort of commentating on your friends and people you've grown up racing with. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a different experience. You never sort of realise how tough it can be calling a bike race from the sidelines. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much for your support, and good luck for the rest of the competition.
Thank you. Cheers.
And we're going to catch up with Kilo Kurgi, who for the 4th year has managed to maintain his Instagram handle. How does that feel?
Yeah, that's the biggest prize of this competition, you know. All the boys, the sprinters used to have the joke, if I get second, the handle goes. So, yeah, it's secure for another year.
And was that a target for you for this championship?
Yeah, definitely. With commies coming up this year, you know, any kilo I can do now. And yeah, tonight we experimented with a bigger gear. And yeah, there's a bit of data there to have a look at and some learnings to look at. So, yeah, happy with the time, with the gear and the training load, so very happy.
Yeah, just outside the, 59 seconds, so in 1 minute, 2.296, and a championship record. So yeah, you've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, better nick than last year. I think I was a minute 0.8 last year. So, you know, it's not as hot in here, not having a crowd, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, like the track's still running all right. So yeah, we'll take it.
And in more sadder news, did you sell your boat today?
Yeah, that was playing on my mind when I was in the gate, I think. About an hour before I started, my boat went down the driveway and it's gone. So if anyone's selling a boat, please contact me, Kilo Kruger, on Instagram.
Awesome, well done. Thanks, Kilo.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for joining us on Sky Sport Next. That ends today's session, day 1, session 3 of the National Track Cycling Championships. As I mentioned earlier, we'll be back on air from tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So make sure, wherever you are, you tune in to Sky Sport Next, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night.